We all have good weeks. Safe to say this might be one of your best weeks?
I'd say for the Boras Corporation that all of us and certainly the people we represent are, we're a very blessed group, no doubt.
I would say so. And Scott, we talked to you last year during this time, or even later, and when free agents hadn't been signed, and we were discussing why they hadn't been signed. So, in your opinion, what has been the biggest difference of what had gone on last year, actually the last couple of years, and this year?
A journalist asked me, what's the difference, and I said we've gone from the big chill to it's a wonderful life. I think the answer to it is that we've had a lot of predictive metrics that have been employed in baseball in the last 3 or 4 years, and they have had a chance to operate in our system. Owners have repeatedly told me this during, after the 19 season, that they're very upset with the what has gone on with what was told by them to be a system of predictive evaluation that would give them more accuracy, and they found that to be not the truth versus the traditional scouting and evaluation of players. And one of the things we've seen is that we've seen attendance drop. We've seen a number of teams lose anywhere from 500,000 to 800,000 fans. We have seen a club win the World Series this year that has followed more of the traditional approach of scouting and signing veteran players and utilizing because I think the oldest playoff team was the winner of the Nationals. So I think owners have said to themselves that we need to have more of a hybrid. We need to have more veteran players on our club. And also I think there's been about, I would say from the last years, there's about 7 or 8 more clubs who are taking the position to be competitive. And I think that creates more of a market for the veteran players.
Talking to Scott Boras, agent for Steven Strasburg, Gerrit Cole, Anthony Rendon, and a host of other very, very well-off Major League Baseball players with us on the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line. And Scott, we remember after the World Series saw Gerrit Cole kind of immediately flipping into that free agent mold, understanding what was coming up, and we knew he was a West Coast kid. We knew there might be some draw there. So outside of just the money, what ultimately ended up going into the decision to land in New York for him?
Gerrit and his wife Amy, their primary goal was having the opportunity to win a World Series, and I think when we're in the meetings, the one thing that came clear was that Hal Steinbrenner made it known that he and their organization were in a position to win and win for a number of years. They have the minor leagues, they have a great major league roster, and what they needed was who Gerrit Cole was. In our meetings with Brian Cashman, Aaron Boone, and they brought Andy Pettit with them. And it allowed me to ask Andy a lot of questions that really revealed to Gerrit and Amy that, what it's like to play in Houston and what it's like to play in New York, and what it means to repeatedly be someone who has an opportunity to annually contend for a world championship. And certainly Andy's account of his experience in New York and living in the area and the fan base, I think had a resounding impact on Gerrit and Amy. And I think Hal Steinbrenner's positioning of his intent and where he wanted the organization to go really was influential.
Well, clearly influential would be a word to describe how you've been in getting these contract negotiations done, as Scott Boras is with us. Like we said, you've had a great week, so if you took the rest of the week off, I think everyone will be fine with the production.
Can't do it.
But you can't do it. It's not Friday at 5 yet. We got a couple of other clients out there. How quickly do you think some of the other clients you have might be signed?
Certainly for Hyun-Jin Ryu and for Dallas Keuchel. They are, coveted major league pitchers. And there are clubs, obviously, that bidded for Strasburg and Cole that still have pitching needs and are, readily pursuing them. Nick Castellanos is probably the next bat in line, after Rendon. If a club wants a great young slugger that has potential, I think that he's a 27-year-old free agent. He's one of the youngest free agents to be in the market. So he's somebody that I think fits a club that is both rebuilding or a club that's more of a now team. So we're really hopeful that those contracts, I think, will follow rather quickly.
We're so glad you're watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports and analysis, download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, make sure you subscribe to ESPN Plus. We'll see you there.